Yo, what's up YouTube? This is AJ Reefer, brand new to YouTube, my first video here. Just wanted to share my 65-gallon reef tank with everyone. As you can see, it's a mixed reef with different types of SPS, LPS, and softy corals, mostly zoas. I got away from keeping these softies all together, but I just wanted to do sort of a quick tour just to show everyone what I got going on. This tank's been up for about a year, a little over a year now. I started at first with a BioCube about 3 years ago, and now I'm up to the 65-gallon reef. Um, like I said, a lot of SPS that I just started getting into. Don't do muscle supplementation other than adding Kalkwasser to my ATO to keep my parameters stable, and I use the BRS Kalkwasser into my smart ATO, which works great, no problem at all. And just trying to give you guys a quick tour of the different types of coral I have. Like I said, the green slimer, different types of millies, stylos. That purple stylo in the middle there is grown pretty large. It's been one of my first SPS that I got into. Also have some, like I said, some zoas. That pipe organ coral has been with me since the beginning. I just added those 3 chromas that you see there, coal tang. I just re-aquascaped the tank not too long ago due to the fact that I made some bad choices with fish selections, and I had a fox face in here at one point, and it just outgrew the tank. Needed to get them out, so the only way to do that was to take a bottle rock, and I figured I might as well just re-aquascape. Those clowns have been with me since the beginning as well. Right where I have that pipe organ, I used to have a bubble rose anemone, and I could not get the clowns to host it at all. So I ended up getting the anemone out. Once I saw it on the move, I just took it out of the tank. And just like I said, I just want trying to show different types of coral I have. That torch coral, this hammer coral is one of my first corals. Only had one little head on it. It's grown pretty big. This Duncan as well, only had maybe 2 or 3 heads. It's one of my favorite corals. A couple other torches, hammers. This big chalice here, when I first got, was maybe about the size of a quarter. It's grown out as big as it is now. About a year, I should say. I have 2 different types of starfish. Both, I think they're both phromias, if I'm not mistaken. This yellow piece here is one of my favorite. That's a pink lemonade coral. This Monty cap is just grown really big. I've had ups and downs with this tank, with keeping parameters stable. But I think I got it down now. So I keep my alkalinity maybe around 8, and calcium around 420, 430. I do most of my testing through Red Sea test kits. I do have also some, forgot the name of them right now, but about 2 different types of test kits. Have different types of mushrooms here. That's a really nice piece I just got recently. Also got a couple other zoas here, and this war scally I got for my birthday not too long ago. Bird's nest grew from just a little nub to what it is now. So I really don't do much maintenance other than 5-gallon water changes on this tank, and just keep up with making sure that my ATO reservoir is full. And like I said, I use Kalkwasser with that. Haven't had any problems. Everything's been stable, where I really don't have to do anything to this tank other than the water changes. And I do that maybe, like I said, once a week. So keeping the hands out of the tank at all times. And let's see if I'm just gonna move down here to the bottom here and show you guys the sump area. I use the Reef Octopus space-saving skimmer. It's the 110 model. A couple filter socks that I change out maybe 3 or 4 days. I had a light here for a refugium BRS reactor with GFO and carbon. The carbon I keep in a mesh bag, just makes it a lot easier for maintenance that way. I don't like keeping carbon in too long, so I just take it out and dump it out as as I needed. And the refugium is still kind of there. Haven't really been keeping up with it, so it's just a Kato and some dragon breath macro that I just have growing out. Keeping other parameters pretty low, trying to keep the nutrients as low as possible. And there's that smart ATO, and like I said, it works great. Just as long as you keep that glass clean, I've had no problems whatsoever. I also have a Aquamax biopellet reactor. As I stated before, I had problems with parameters. My nitrates were going crazy, and I was doing vodka dosing. But other than I didn't want to keep doing the daily maintenance of dosing vodka, so I went with the biopellet reactor, and then haven't looked back since. It's been doing a great job. I just pretty much set it up and forgot about it. Keep my nitrates around 5 ppms, 10 at the most, but I like to keep them around 5. I like to feed these spectrum pellets along with other different types of flake, mysis shrimp, brine shrimp. Just mix it up on a daily basis. I target feed some of my LPS and softy corals. Don't really mix it up, but just like to target feed them. And just as I said, like some of my test kits, clean up rags, things like that I just leave here. And there in the bottom, just keep some seaweed that I rarely don't feed, because the coal tang is the only one that really munches on this stuff. But he's pretty happy with everything I feed in the tank, so kind of not feeding that seaweed anymore. Alright, so I'd just like to thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. If you guys have any questions or anything, leave them down in the comment section. Not sure if I will be making any more videos, but if I do, it might just be if any more additions of coral or anything like that I add to the tank. So until the next time, if there is one, you guys be safe and happy reef keeping.